Welcome back to the adventures of General Krusty Face. No, let's play Darkest of Days. Forgive me, that was my dog. Okay, we can either play World War I or Civil War. We're going to play World War I because it has less terrible weapons.
This is during the opening days of World War I at Tannenberg.
And we get a really boring briefing from Dexter here.
There's three big problems. Number one, First Russian Army
Rennenkampf.
wouldn't piss on Second
That sounds
Army
more like a
generals
German
enough.
name.
He was on fire. He's hung the Second Army out to dry just because he hates Samson.
It's no wonder the Russians lost World War I.
These dumb shit generals have been broadcasting their orders on the radio, unencoded. Number three, the Germans know all this.
I'd skip past this, but you probably want to hear these boring briefings.
After this one, Russia doesn't march on German soil again until 1945. The Second Army is destroyed. Over 125,000 Russian troops are lost. Somehow, Petrovich has been moved to the Second Army. We know he made it out of Tannenberg, but
There's really not much said about this game. This is just pretty much it.
We're gonna get you close.
Dexter rattle on for like half an hour.
It's gonna be a fucking mess out there.
Yeah, whatever. Teleport. I'm still thinking if Morris had the chance, he would just run away as fast as he could. The Russians were absolute rubbish during World War I based on my research on it. And here we are in the trenches of World War I. Not many World War I games. Okay, we have a Nagant rifle, and for some reason, I don't have a sidearm, because they didn't issue some. Now, one thing I never understood about the Russians is that all of the soldiers, including the regular ones, wore officers. Wouldn't that be rather confusing if you needed to find the commanding officer and said, "You, where's Sergeant, we must retreat," and said, "I'm not the sergeant, I'm the private." "Oh, you, Sergeant!" I'm a corporal." "Where the hell is the sergeant?" "He's dead." Even though sergeants don't. And the Germans were... And shouldn't they be wearing helmets? Seriously, those hats don't look very protective. And why do they have Maxim guns? Did the Russians even have Maxim guns during this time? During World War I? Half the army was unarmed. They could barely supply them. Oh yeah, and they're wearing those weird, winter hats too, whatever that is. The one the little girl wore in the Balto movie. And the Germans, they have weird headwear too. Their helmets have like little spikes on them. I'm assuming those spikes were like an alternative to bayonets so they could just bend over and charge at enemies like bulls. And the Russians like wave their coats around like capes and go, "Ole!" and their Germans miss, and that they still die anyway because the Germans have more ammo. I wish we could play a game that took place in the Russian Revolution. That was a cool time. Then we get to watch Slaughter Rasputin. The real Rasputin, not that crappy singing one from the Don Bluth movie. That was really disturbing, actually. I also hate that movie because that was the reason Don Bluth didn't direct the Secret of NIMH sequel. And that's why Secret of NIMH 2 sucked, and we don't speak of it, because it is forbidden. Oh, hello. Is this like a chorus? Hello, 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 Russian. Oh dear God, grenades. Grenades in this game are very glitchy. And by saying that, it means that their shrapnel can actually penetrate cover. Unlike in games like Call of Duty, where you can hide behind like a crate or something and the shrapnel doesn't pierce. Although for some reason barrels can. Try it yourself. Try playing Call of Duty 2 with a grenade barrel. Excuse me, I'm trying to have a conversation. Anyway, again, here's the Gewehr. I think it's... Oh dear. Had some trouble with YouTube lag. Okay, that's disturbing. Is this Darkest of Days or Necrovate? I'm trying to look at a map. Anyway, our goal is to find Dexter, because he's actually coming with us for some of these missions. I honestly thought he wouldn't come. Excuse me, sir. You appear to be lost. Let me help you. Oh, there he is. And yet he's still wearing his Texan hat. Wouldn't the Russian soldiers find that somewhat suspicious?
And provide cover fire. Now!
Oh no! Petrovich! Now you can tell that's Petrovich over there because he has an orange aura. Are we the only ones who can see this? We have to, because the soldiers aren't screaming at and pointing at him in disbelief. These guns overheat like crazy, dear lord. It's faster than the plasma pistol from yeah, there was a plasma pistol in Darkest of Days. This game would be awesome if it had a plasma pistol, but sadly there isn't. I was talking about the plasma pistol from Halo. Yeah, but going back to the Maxim gun, this thing. Look how fast this is overheating, dear lord! Isn't that what the water barrel was for? Yes, he got away. Now we must cover his escape. I've mowed down like an entire German army now.
Head this way.
Okay.
This path is the only way you
Seriously,
could have made it.
all the Russians would be asking him what was with his hat. Or would they? I don't know. I don't know what the Russians... Or one. I barely see. I wish they'd make some more games for World War I. It was a cool period. Wish they'd make some games for the Russian Revolution, and then we could witness... We could take the role of the guys who execute Anastasia. It would be very controversial in Japan. And would Russia ban that? I'm not sure. Do they still support the Tsar's ideals? Do they respect him? Or do they just not give a crap? And here's a bunch of retreating Russians. They must be French volunteers. Ha ha ha! French joke. Forgive me, French viewers. Also, not a lot of cover in this game. You will learn to cherish rocks with your life because they are the most common cover you come across. And here's a Russian officer. And here's what I was talking about. That is a C96 pistol. That is a German pistol, not a Russian. The Russians should be using the model, I think, 1895 revolvers. Why are they not using that? I don't know. The developers did research on this. They should have known. And also, that's a fully automatic variant. It burns through it. Oh, ooh, ammo. Alright, Dexter, I'm going. Phrygia. Repel German attack.
Better follow it. Move it, son.
Some more officers just standing there. Russian brothers, you mean Russian comrades? Yes, comrade, let us kill the German pigs.
Taught you well.
Taught me well. I knew how to shoot before I even met you. How does Morris even know how to work a bolt-action rifle? The first time he picked one up, he said, "Oh, you just do this." If he were really in the 1800s, he wouldn't even know how to reload it. Eat shrapnel. Oh, I'll reload. We get it. Germans are attacking. Repel them. These Russians are really well armed. I'm serious. They barely had any guns during the war. Half the army was unarmed and they had to pick the guns off their dead comrades. Were they allowed to take guns from the Germans? I'm not sure. That would be a logical thing to do, so the Russians probably didn't do that. They're not allowed. Oh, well, look on the bright side. At least we're not playing as the French with their crappy Lebel rifles. Why was an German officer charging the front line? Shouldn't they be staying back? Yay, we win!
When you weren't running.
When I wasn't running. You told me to run. Oh, and it wouldn't be a World War I game without gas. Poison gas.
Gas mask. It's hanging from your belt. This is our chance to get out of here. Let's use it.
And now we obscure half my vision. Shouldn't one of my eyes be looking? And we're going to wait for these men to die because I want their guns, so I can show you these. Now we shall haul us out of here. Ooh, I got lots of ammo. But you'll burn through it rather quickly. This isn't even that good of a pistol. The sight's really clunky and... Look. It's very difficult to fire this semi-automatic style, so accuracy is in the toilet. And we're in 12 minutes. YouTube had better let me upload this and not ask me for another verification code, or I'm gonna be pissed. And here are some blue aura targets, and we are not going to kill them, because that will be bad. Oh, and a bunch of other Russians survived the gas too. Let's let them do the fighting. Oh! Seriously, look, they're all wearing officers. And this one's wearing... And look, why are they all wearing sashes? Is it that cold in Europe? Okay. Oh. The Germans use a Luger in this game, which is actually, I think that's historic. I think they use Luger. Period. Some more, and the blue aura guys again. Do they see the blue aura guys? They're like, oh my god, he's glowing blue. He is a saint. I don't know why they sound like they're French, but when you press the right-left trigger, when they're struggling with that, it knocks them out. Stupid. If you have trouble with the system, you should just let it. Oh. And my right trigger malfunctioned there for a minute, so I just emptied an entire clip at nothing. Ironically, both the melee attack and the bayonet attack both do the same method. Just by a sharp object is being thrust into your eyes. 14 minutes in. These maps are huge, by the way. That's one thing I will give this game. And it has lots of people on the screen. That is another good thing. Shame it doesn't have much variety. Hopefully. We shall throw grenades! Now, your AI-controlled companions are immune to your regular bullets, but they can be killed by your grenades, and I think Maxim gun. But they aren't that. Call of Duty, where they walk in front of you and then you fire your Thompson and they die and they say, you The friendly fire will not be tolerated, and they end your mission.
Нам нужно больше боеприпасов здесь!
Whee. This game has some ludicrous achievements. Oh, good, Luger. Nope, nope, the Luger.
Медик!
Luger. Where is the Luger? Yes. Here we are, the Luger, my favorite World War I pistol. Well, at least my favorite World War I pistol available. I'd much rather prefer a Model 1895 revolver. Because it's the only revolver I've seen that can be silenced, or suppressed, I mean. There's no truly silenced firearm.
Atta boy, soldier. Pick this shit up quick. Now, let's get after that Petrovich.
Yeah, that Petrovich, yeah. Seriously, this guy is... He says all sorts of weird, corny Texan proverbs. Throughout the game, you'll learn to hate him.
Нам нужно больше людей!
Yep, just running. Not much to say here. A whole bunch of Russian soldiers running down the hill. Oh dear, we are at 16. YouTube, you had better let me upload this. I swear to God, I will break your arm if you don't let me upload this.
фрицы рядом!
And there's another historical accuracy right up ahead. Oh, he meant this hill. I never knew what he was talking about. Ow! Oh, there's an invisible wall. There is no hill! And I'm not getting up the hill, I'm going down the hill. Okay, and if I don't die, let's see. That is a British, I think Crusade, what was it called? I don't know. Either way, that is a British tank and the Germans are using it. Historical inaccuracy. The Germans only had access to this really flipping huge tank that required 18 men to operate and barely worked. So unless they stole that tank from the British and found out how to use it, which I doubt actually happened in the war, that's very inaccurate.
Let's take a look.
Oh good, we're almost...
Alright, he's gotta be close. Let's get
I think I'm going to be doing one mission per video. Quick, take the water wheel off and send it and roll it towards the German soldiers. And here's the command post, and here's our commanding officer.
Гони их назад!
Who wears the same hat as all the others.
Мы
Except
обязаны
his
остановить
Nod and
немцев!
smile. Come on outside.
Okay, nod and smile. And also, is he a commanding officer or is he just a homeless man who moved into this house? Because that's what he looks like.
Alright, what he was saying was that this whole area is pretty much overrun.
I don't like you either.
Now, that sounds like our next destination, but I want to head back to the Chronotech labs and do some planning. Come on, let's blow this pop stand.
It's called Popsicle Stand, Dexter. I know you're Texan and you think everything you say is cool, but you're not. And so we just wander off over here. And, sometimes, Russian soldiers follow us. And Dexter doesn't mind. And they would be saying, they're like, "Oh my God, it's the devil!" Ah! You have been handpicked. You'll find out why they actually chose me later on. It's actually quite something, makes a lot of sense, but right now it really doesn't make. And we're back here. And we are greeted by this annoying flashing light every time, epilepsy warning.
Good job getting Petrovich off the battlefield. It was bad luck you couldn't catch up with him. Our research shows a location just outside Frankenau is the best rendezvous point for Petrovich. And don't forget about Welsh in the Civil War. Remember, maintaining the integrity of history is our mission at Chronotech.
Your job will be a lot easier if your shooting irons are in better shape. Our
Shooting
team is working on
irons?
improving
Don't you mean
period
iron?
weapons, but they're also running interference for you. Remember the people with the blue auras?
Yes.
The fewer of them you kill, the more time our team has to work on your weapon systems, and the less time they spend cleaning up after your worthless ass.
20
Come
minutes.
on over to the weapons table. I can show you more.
Alright. And we can't select the next mission until we do this. We have to...
After every mission, assuming you don't totally screw it up,
Shut
get
up, I'm
upgrade
trying to do
points.
commentary.
you can use
I'm gonna
these
cover your
points to
face
get
with this
more
map
ammo
because
and
it's
a quick,
hideous.
faster rate of
Ugh,
fire.
my eyes!
You get the idea.
Okay, for some reason,
You can't get them back.
the future operative somehow found an idea to you... Found a system that allows you to fit like 20 rounds into a weapon from the... I can't talk today. They essentially allow you to jam 20 rounds into a rifle that essentially can only hold 5 rounds.
She'll let me go camping back in dinosaur times. Maybe take me down a...
If you just stand around, Dexter will go
over a
mumble.
big old campfire.
Okay, here's the upgrade. As you can see, you can equip all this. The reload speed makes that thing you reload in bigger, so it's easy.
Fried chicken.
Okay, since I'm going over 20 minutes, I think this might be the best spot to end this. So until next time, folks, until next time. Dexter, sign us out.